Hey Crunch fans, welcome to day one of ice install as we get ready for season 31 of Crunch hockey. Over the weekend we turned on the chillers, which just gets the cement slab nice and cold so it can accept that first layer, which is a mist layer. We simply come out with a mister. We'll do 3 or 4 passes of that to build up the water to 1/16 of an inch of ice. Following that, we'll paint the entire thing white, 1 or 2 passes, sometimes a third depending on how it takes it. And then following that, we'll begin the sealing in process, and that's where we'll start to build up the ice. So the next step is, after the white paint is all sealed in, the hockey ice dimensions start to take form, and we move right into lines, face-off circles, and the goal creases. Day 3 brings us to the logos. This is where the ice really comes alive. We're one of the few teams, if not the only team, that still uses the old-fashioned stencil and chalk. So what it is, it's essentially a piece of paper with the logo outlined with little holes. We come in with chalk that a local carpenter would use to make measurements in their home. And what that does is provides an outline of each of the logos there. Following that, the county painters will come in and they'll start painting and filling in the lines of, not so much paint by number, but they definitely will use the chalk as an outline. And following the completion of the painting, it gets turned back over to the mechanics, who come out with a mister, and that will help seal the paint in. So you do a couple layers of that. That'll build up the ice, not very much at all. It will barely register in terms of anything in as little as 1/16 of an inch, but what it does is it seals it in, and that will help it for when we bring the fire hose out and start to build up the ice. So once all the sponsor logos are painted and sealed in, it's time to move over to the center ice logo, as you can see behind me. The logo checks in at just under 360 inches wide, so it's a pretty big logo to paint. The county painters always leave a little bit of a space left for the Crunch front office to come down, which has become an annual tradition where each member of the staff will paint a couple inches of the logo itself. Once the logo is done, the final piece of the puzzle is the stenciling of Upstate Medical University Arena around the center ice circle. Following that, it's time to bring out the fire hose and we start building up the ice. And it varies throughout the year where it is. A lot of it is weather dependent, but you want to kind of get it into that 1 inch to 1 1/4 inch, and that's where that sweet spot is, and that's what will allow the athletes to safely perform and do what they do. So now all that is left is to decide who will be the staff member to break in the ice. It's a time-honored tradition across rinks all across America. We'll usually do something or pick somebody who had a phenomenal off-season, and they'll have the privilege of being the first one to step on the ice and break it in. So stay tuned.